And it
Salute, New
looks
York,
like we're
Vinnie.
live, Michael.
Akoli Maluna.
Hakuna Matata. Hakole Mamuna and Chela Luna Menzumati.
No doubt, in my mind. As I said on the stoop just last night.
There was a lot of stooping going on this weekend. A lot
There
of
was.
stoop love in New York, man.
There was some sensible stuff, and there was some. It was comedic. It was just a matter of time before somebody burned a cop car, like you knew.
Well, it's we have to face the fact that there's just idiots in this world, man. There's just idiots,
and you don't have to find them; they will find you.
Yeah. You don't have to look for them. They're at every sporting event. You may not be sitting next to them, but believe me, they're there somewhere. If you get up out of your seat and you walk around,
they're not that far away.
You'll find them. They'll be there, and they'll find you. And you just wait for the time when they will become, or you will become, either involved or hopefully the cops will get there first and throw them out, or somebody bigger than you that wants to get involved will throw them over a railing. I just get where you can't enjoy anything anymore
for very long.
You have a limited time period in which you can be at an event, enjoy it, and then it's time to cut and run.
And if you're an idiot, even in New York, the Knicks winning after 53 years is not enough to keep you happy. You're pleased for a moment, and then the other alternatives come into your mind. I'm happy now, but what could I do to make this worse?
Yeah, what can I do to get myself on TV?
I've come in from Brooklyn. It's 3 a.m. I'm not going home. Let's go someplace where we can get a couple drinks and break some windows.
Well, and of course, you just mentioned part of why that's appealing is because you can come into Brooklyn and get a drink until 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's a fact.
And usually, and that's legal. I mean, it's not like, well, we're going to go to the speakeasy or this cop bar or whatever they want to call it. It's there. It's part of the law in New York City and New York State that drinking establishments are allowed to stay open until 4 a.m. And as my mother told me many times in life, nothing good ever happens after 3:59.
Nothing good ever happens after 2.
Yeah. Well, really nothing good ever happens anymore. But
it's an illusion that's brought on by that drinking that you've been doing since 8 o'clock.
Well, yeah, it used to be, Michael. It seemed like when we were younger, and I don't know, I don't want to say we were more responsible drinkers or we were more responsible social people or so on and so forth. But, we'd go to Bud's, which was our neighborhood bar hangout. We'd go to Bud's and we'd drink, we'd do our thing, we'd hang out with people. We'd smoke some dope or, do whatever we were doing. And then at 4 o'clock, when the bar closed, they closed the lights in the front. And we hung out for a little while longer, sometimes until the dawn's early light. And then we piled into the car and we headed downtown for Chinese food.
Like
we
you do.
Didn't bother anybody, or to the diner. We didn't, go out with the intention of we're going to get into a fight. We're going to overturn a cop car. We're going to do.
What would you get at the diner? Would you get eggs over easy with home fries?
On the diner? Well, it depended on which diner you were going to. Some diners had, the Heights diner always was simple, but it had, the best bacon and eggs. Or the best lumberjack special, as they called it, which was comprised of 3 eggs, a couple of strips of bacon, a piece of ham, a couple of sausage links, any kind of meat. that you could think of. A scat of home fries. Um, I was always personally a corned beef and hash guy. Still am. I love good corned beef and hash.
Mhm.
Homemade. Although I don't mind the canned. If somebody whips out the Hormel out of the can, I'm
That can
good
be
with it.
that can be very tasty.
Yeah, just put especially 3 eggs up, runny. Um, have at it, man. Put those on top of some eggs.
Oh yeah,
Put that on top of some hash. Put some mustard on it. Some ketchup on the French fries. I'm ready to go. I'm good
yeah.
for it.
You
I'm
have to
not
be
looking
ready to
for a
go.
fight. I'm looking to eat my freaking breakfast. If you Chinese food, that's Manhattan at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Got to have fried rice.
And that's hop. Well, it depends on where you go. Again, it all depends on where you're going. You're going to Hop Key, you go into Woe Hop. There's various other places. Sometimes you go to a seafood only place, and then there was also if you wanted clams, if you wanted seafood, Italian seafood, you'd go out to Sheepshead Bay, and there was Randazzo's Clam Bar. That place was open until easy 6, 7 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
and and you'd pull in for it at 6 o'clock in the morning. You had to wait for a table.
Yeah.
But you went and you went in and had the scungilli with hot sauce. Well, on the biscuit, and you couldn't beat that. You couldn't. You go out and you go out with 12, 10, 7, 8 people. Sit, get a table, sit down. A few other people were looking for tables. Sometimes, hey, come on, sit with us. Just sit down and everybody sits down and enjoys a meal together.
You got to
You don't
eat.
know
So
them.
sit down and eat.
Yeah, sit down and enjoy a meal. And then you try to hit them with the check. Say, hey, you know what? You sat with us. You buy. It's your turn. Uh, but, I mean, it just, there was no thought of let's fuck up the cops. Let's overturn a car. Let's go create vandalism. Let's do this.
That's what I'm saying. The funny thing is that would be a normal Friday night, and that wouldn't, the idea of violence or disrupting the neighborhood wouldn't cross your mind. But on a special Saturday night, where the Knicks go down to San Antonio, and against all odds, and against the clock, and against what looked like was possible, they win the game. If that doesn't make you happy, if that's not enough to take the edge off, then we have nothing more on our menu to offer you.
You would think
why aren't you happy tonight of all nights?
Yeah, you would think that would be
why aren't you overjoyed?
Put you in a good mood, right? But we live in the age. We live in the age of, throughout history, there's been different periods: the Renaissance period, the Masters period, all the different.
This isn't that. We're not
this
there.
This is the fucking idiot period.
Yeah.
There's just too many idiots.
And they rise to the top. They rise to the cream. They rise to prominence. They rise to influence your life. They rise to ruin the day, and then they ruin the evening too.
Well, see, you just hit the word. You just hit the word. Influencer. Somebody made a mistake of giving these people the idea that they were influential, that they had some kind of sway over people's behavior, or what they buy, or what they do, or any type of behavior that might have some kind of sway over somebody else. And so these people think that they are influencers. They sign the bottom of their emails, influencer. What? Because you put some greasy hair gel in your hair, and you figured out how to make your hair 2 colors. You're an influencer. You don't influence me, you idiot. You look like a fool. But these people have, and certain parts of media. I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know why I had this habit. Well, I know why I had the habit. A friend of mine, Bill Kizarba, I'll name him. He deserves to be named for this. Um, Many years sold me on the idea of watching the television show 90 Day Fiance.
We've discussed this before, how you watch it, but you don't think you should.
I know I shouldn't. It's not even a matter of thinking. It's a matter of what am I doing? Watch. I'm lowering myself. It's like like it's when you go out with a skanky you go out with a skanky person. You wind up going out with them not because you like them, but because you need to go out with somebody. You have to have you need some kind of company.
And it's a
So
mistake.
right, so it's a mistake. It's a mistake on every level, and so you wind up either going out with them or yada yada yada. And next thing you know, you're in trouble somehow, some way. You're in trouble
You haven't gone
because
5 minutes and you're in trouble.
yeah, you decided that you're going to go with this person, and it's going to cause you nothing but trouble. Everybody's telling you not to go, that you're wrong, that you're only going to hurt yourself, but yet you're not going to listen. So anyway, my friend Bill got me interested in this program, and I got to admit that there's a morbid curiosity about it. It's a show that you look at people and you say, gee, this person looks so loopy, so screwed up that how could they possibly be worse than me? There could be, I never thought there could be anything, anybody, any type of situation that would be worse than what I am. But yet here they are. They present themselves.
Here's proof.
Here's proof. Here's the trailer park in West Virginia. This is it right here. Um, and so there's a couple on this season, and this is like the third season in a row I've decided to say that I'm not going to watch this anymore. But I get hooked into it. It's an addiction, and the people who produce the show know that they know the score. So there's this AI generated crap that I read this morning on one of the fan pages. I was doing my morning reading, and it said all about this guy that's on the show, and he's from Egypt, and she's from New Orleans, and he's a Muslim guy, and she is an older woman who thinks she's hit I guess, the old lady pot of gold. And the old lady pot of gold is any human being, any man that would look at her for more than 10 seconds, that's less
And
than half
consider his
her age.
alternative, consider his options.
Yeah. So she's hooked into this guy, and she's going to bring him to America. She has brought him to America. And this is the guy that thinks he is an Egyptian movie star.
Oh dear. Omar Sharif.
Yeah, do I gotta go anymore? No, he's annoying, and on top of it, and this is and it bothers me that I think this way, and I'm going to be very blunt and honest about it. But I find this with a certain segment of people who appear on this show, and I think they do it purposely. Is they go out and they find Muslim men
Because it's
to
controversial.
hook up with these women, and call me prejudiced, call me racist, call me what you want to call me if you feel the need to. But the mindset of a Muslim man that is from the other side is a very different mindset than what you have from somebody who's born and brought up here in America. Traditionally, usually.
Especially
There are
comparing it to someone from New Orleans.
But yeah, but if you're a 60-year-old independent woman, there's got to be a compelling reason for you to want to be with that person. and want to have a relationship with them. So anyway, people were going on about this guy and how he treats this woman and how this star in the 90-day universe um, is he right or is he wrong? Should she accede to his wishes? Does she treat him like this? It's all clickbait shit. It's all clickbait. It's all just stuff trying to get clickbait. I'm surprised that they haven't shown snuff films on this thing yet to
They
get
will.
somebody to look. So anyway, for some reason, I had gotten to the point this morning where I had decided that I'm going to say my piece. And so I started typing and I just said, look, you know, the main problem here is there's never an ice agent around when you want one. People are complaining. And then there's another complaint on this same line of this same thing about this woman who used to be on the wedding dress show, where they go to Kleinfeld's in New York and they pick out the wedding dress, say yes.
And it
to
never
the
fits.
dress.
It never shows up. It always breaks. It always
No.
loses its story.
They go, but the woman picks out the dress. She brings her friends. They serve her champagne. Do you like this dress? Yeah. And so they cross. They took this one woman who used to be the, I guess, executive CEO of the dress show, and they now have put her with an Ecuadorian guy on the 90-Day Fiance show.
You give them completely different backgrounds and hope they get together.
Right. And so people are complaining. And so I felt compelled to give people a lesson on how television works. And I said, well, nobody complained in the 1950s or 60s when CBS had Lucille Ball and they put her on 5 different shows in the space of 20 years. Yeah, she was in this situation and that situation and this and that, but it was Lucille Ball. And she got on these shows because they, number one, had a contract with her, and number two, she had talent enough to be interesting. In essence, what they've done here is they've taken some unknown person and strapped the camera to them.
Without the talent and the interest.
And yeah, and said to them and to us so many times that this person is a star. And so if they're a star, if we tell you they're a star, they must be a star. They must be worth the effort that we are putting into so that this person will be interesting. There's not an iota of interesting about them, except there always seems to be something screwed up. This one woman, Debbie, likes the guy who tells her to shut up. I am man and you're a woman. And because then it says, and they start with the Quran and the woman thing. And then they go from that, they go to some other thing that puts the man in a high position over the woman, and the woman has to sit there and take it. It's their tradition. Well, you know what? That tradition doesn't fly here. And when it does, there's usually some kind of domestic violence involved in it. It's not a normal thing. It's psychotic behavior.
Yes.
And I just said, these people are not stars by any stretch of the imagination. They are people, basically animals that TLC, which is, by the way, I believe a subsidiary of CBS, which they have strapped a camera to and followed them around to all of these different places and said, well, we're going to make some money on this deal because these people are so screwed up.
It's fireworks.
that there'll be fireworks, and invariably, in almost every case, there is. So, um, and I do it when I write some kind of note. I do it just because it gets to a point of being so disgusting, and the disgust is usually with myself, Michael, that I can't wean myself away from it. That I have nothing really much better in my life going on except some good friends that I don't like to bother on Sunday night, because they're doing stuff, um, or some other situation that I just don't feel it's a good idea to bother them at that time. But some of the train wrecks that you see, some of the people that you examine and look at. Now, granted, there are some people who have these great lives, these fun lives and things that they do, and they own a farm, and they have a great family, but there's a couple of them. There's not many, and it's car wreck television. It's you're waiting for the bodies to fall out of the side doors so that they can entertain you and provide entertainment for you.
The cops will set up the tire strip, but there's a chance that they'll drive around it.
Yeah, yeah, but this is what our society has become. For a lot, not everybody, obviously, but for a large section,
Everything's a high-speed freeway chase.
well, everything is either an us versus them, or a situation where the religion that dictates that you subordinate your women, or that you leave people in a position of they are not as good as you are because they were born with the wrong sex, whatever it is. Um, but the people that can't have that in their own lives, that probably don't have the nerve to walk into their girlfriend or wife and say, I'm going to be in charge here. They just do it on TV so that they can get away with it. And a large number of these people are now grown people. They're not kids anymore. They're not teenagers anymore, and they haven't grown out of it. They haven't gotten past looking at life like that.
They did not mature well.
Right. So they think that they're right. They think at 25 or 30 years old that they still have a right to go around and burn cop cars and attack people and disrupt people's minds and lives so much that you can make it an interesting television show. Make it a show that will be interesting to watch. And there are
why did you break the cop window, Lamar? Why did you do that? Well, I was pissed off. It's her fault.
Most of them can't put enough words together to make a sentence to say that they were pissed off.
That I believe.
Well, yeah. I did it. Or I showed them. You all, whether it's and when you add that to the absolute, complete, and utter sadness and tragedy that social media platforms like X has become, where people just look at it and, yeah, I'm on board with that behavior. It's amazing. And you say, how is this? Never mind. And you ask yourself the question, well, why did Donald Trump get elected president? Not once, but twice.
It was because of the opportunity to have UFC fightings on the White House lawn.
Yeah. This is America.
And you'll be able to tear the meeting in the G7 from the UFC fight. It'll all just blend together.
You look at it, you say, what's the solution? And the answer is there is no solution. We have gone down to the point in our life as a nation where
It's just a carnival.
it's just a show. Yeah, it's all a reality show. And we're not going to get any smarter. We're not going to get any better because there's no incentive to. They're going to go along and they don't want to be smarter.
You can be a star by being just as much of an idiot as you are right now.
Right. You could park 25 abandoned cars on your lawn, and that'll be a reality show.
It'll be a show. We'll make it a show.
We'll make it a show. We'll put a couple of cameras out there, and we'll get a picture of you leaning over the open hood of your car, and we'll call it "Who's Got the Most Cars?"
And the cops are coming. The cops are coming to make you tow them off, and you're not going to do that. There's going to be a standoff, and it could last 3 weeks.
Yeah, you're going to go out there with your gun or your knife or whatever it is, and you're going
Both.
to, at some point, attack whoever comes up to tell you can't do it because this is America and you have your First and Second Amendment rights.
I have to stand my ground law.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It just means that I can stand here.
That's all it means.
And you can't.
And if the person is a different color than you, then that makes better television.
Obviously.
If the person is stupid, that makes better television. The lower you can go on the evolutionary chain with these people, the more it benefits the TV station because those people aren't in that town with those people. They sent the producer out, and they tell them to control it.
Did the people who watched the show and love it respond to your harangue?
There was a couple of responses already. Luckily, I have NY in my name. It says NY Vinnie Riccici. So, usually I get that, screw you. You're an asshole New Yorker, So it's almost like you want to give up. You can't teach these people a lesson, or you have to admit to yourself that maybe you're wrong. Maybe that this is how it's supposed to go. Maybe those people that you see in Canada are right. That this is what life is all about these days. That life is really not about trying to elevate yourself, trying to raise yourself to a higher standard,
but defiling yourself.
But making, the stupidest one wins. Maybe that should be the next show.
Stupid wins.
Stupid wins. So, I don't know. Listen, I've never said I'm the sharpest tool in the room. I've never said I got answers for everything or anything for that matter. I've always tried to be a guy that makes
common sense.
Not even common sense. Makes people laugh. Makes them look at a situation and see the funny side of it. See the part of it that would make people laugh, that would make people enjoy themselves. But I don't claim to have all the answers. All I claim is to look for, as you said, common sense solutions that aren't going to hurt anybody, and maybe try to find some laughter, some humor.
Well, we got to get you another show. We got to find you another show to be enjoying. 90 Day Fiancé has run its race, and it's left you unsatisfied.
Yeah, it's left me defiled. It's left me not proud of myself. It's like when you would get in the car in the 70s and you would turn on Barry Manilow.
Not what you were looking for.
And you heard it, and when anybody was listening, You said, well, if anybody's listening, I'll turn this on so that they don't hear that I'm really listening to Barry Manilow or Christopher Cross, or some of that, the stuff that they now have legitimatized by calling it yacht rock.
Yeah.
Anybody that's listening to this music doesn't have a yacht and
Doesn't have a
probably
yacht.
doesn't have brains in their head.
Doesn't know where to find a yacht.
Doesn't know what good music is. Knows what pre-produced studio, uh, tracks that are done by bad musicians
Adult
looks
pop.
like, smells like, and sounds like. So that's kind of what the sum total of my weekend was.
Well, I recommend another show for you. Try The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. It's on Tuesday nights on the History Channel, and I think you might like that. It has to do with unexplainable phenomena on a ranch in Utah where traditionally the Native American creature, the skinwalker, holds sway. But it's more of that. There are unidentified flying objects that visit the ranch every night. There are white orbs of light that visit the ranch. There are events and physical tests that the astrophysicists that are studying the phenomena of the ranch, they can't be explained. They can be defined. They can be studied. They can be measured, but that make no sense in terms of physics.
Skinwalker Ranch.
The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Tuesday nights, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on the History Channel.
On the History Channel. Okay, I get a lot of good stuff off the History
Channel. On my satellite, it's channel 269.
Okay, I will check it out on Tuesday night.
Again, there's 7th season now, so you start in season 7. You can start in season 1, however you want to hang.
It's got great people.
It's fascinated me. Kristen and I have been watching it now since the beginning, and season 7 just started. I think this is episode 3 or 4 for the new season, coming tomorrow night.
Okay. All right. I got it on my. I'll put it right up here in my card so I can see it and turn it on and see if it's something that'll hold my interest. It's weird too. I'm trying to diversify myself a little bit in what I watch, not just watch the same like cars and this and that. And so hopefully this will hit the button.
I hope so.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I can wean myself from 90 Day Idiots.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's and listen, I love my friend Bill, and I love, when we all lived together up here. When Bill was up here and his wife, it was Sunday night we'd get together and we'd watch it and we'd look at these people and we'd say, thank God we didn't wind up like them. But I look as we look at them that we have in some sense
becoming
them because you find yourself crawling into their world. And you don't want to be in there.
You don't want to be in there.
You don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to be an item. You don't want to be anything. So I can appreciate any help I can get, because the next step is serious psychotic treatment. I mean,
we've already done that. That was like our career in radio.
Yeah. And it's just
where you accept psychotic behavior as normal, psychotic management as normal.
Well, it's usually in charge of whatever you're working at.
Yeah, right. Can't be helped.
Yeah, they've usually brought them in on one morning and said, "Here's your new boss."
You're gonna love this guy.
Oh, you're gonna, you'll be going out for drinks and dinner with this person every night.
He's gonna change everything. He's gonna ruin everything, and it won't be long.
Yeah. How often does that happen?
Well, it depends how many times you want to go in a slightly different direction.
Slightly. Yeah, we just wanted to change our direction. How was your weekend? I mean, did you get your fill? Obviously, the NBA, the Knicks. Congratulations to them, right? I mean, that was a.
It's a whole series of championships going. The Knicks become champions. The Carolina Hurricanes become champions, and we're deciding who's going to win the College World Series. There's a lot of top of the line playing going on.
Yeah. I haven't followed the College World Series as much. I checked in on a couple of games. I always like to, and I believe it was like Nebraska and somebody,
West Virginia, Texas, North Carolina.
And that's probably because the baseball world where it meets college can be somewhat convoluted because there's guys with contracts, there's guys that don't have contracts, there's bonus babies. There's just a weird system to get you where you need to get. The best players may not be close to what you're watching.
That's true. And the talents that they bring is not always, you say, we expect this to be like minor league baseball. This should be at least AA baseball. And sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't.
Yeah, and you wind up, the weird thing about baseball and the minor league, the College World Series is that because of the minor league system, there are a lot of teams and different people who are on these teams who either A, shouldn't be in a minor league team because their talents far outweigh or do not weigh up to. The talent I find is not, everybody on a college football team is pretty much going to be for a couple of years equal in talent, size, the things that are going to make them equal to each other in the pursuit of a championship.
Mm-hmm.
In the college rankings, it seems that there's a disparity even on a team of what types of players are there.
You guys are pros. You guys are still Pony League.
Yeah. And I think that makes it, for me at least, a little hard to follow sometimes. A little hard to appreciate. And it's probably why I haven't paid as much attention to college baseball as much as I did when I was in San Francisco, because they had a great, University of San Francisco had a great baseball team.
The Dons.
And at Pittsburgh, I was into the baseball team because they had a great coach, Joe Giordano. And Coach Joe was a good guy. He was a baseball guy.
Sounds like he could grow tomatoes with Joe Pignatano.
Maybe not as good as Joe Pignatano, but he knew how to grow his tomatoes. He knew where to put them in the bullpen so they would catch the right amount of sun.
You got to get sun.
You got to have, and luckily, which I think is really, I've come to dislike it, but the more I kind of pay a little bit more attention to it, I've also now figured out that I'm glad that the World Cup is here and happening, because it's taking attention away from some of the college sports that are happening right now. People are so tuned into the World Cup that they're not paying attention to the different college sports that would normally be getting ink at this time of year, which is fine by me. Let them play, let them learn how to hit a baseball, how to throw a baseball, whatever they need to
And
do.
there's so many games going on in different communities, large and small, all across the country, that the local people are getting involved because the foreign international teams have come to their town and become part of the story and are staying locally and are having pre-game talent camps for the kids.
Parties, yeah. They're having like these the talent camps, but also there is a bit of. I mean, I don't know.
Just
I
a
wouldn't cross
barbecue.
the street to see a soccer game, to be honest with you, unless my kid was playing in it. I just don't really. But I do have a fondness for the games that go on, the events that go on around it, the barbecues. These
Right.
people find the best meat. The Argentinians find the best beef in the world. They don't fool around when it comes to barbecue and pork chops. I mean, they know how to do it. And so all of a sudden, you're getting, you're not getting the cheap crap that Harry M. Stevens is going to serve you. They're going to serve you stuff that comes from Antoine the Butcher, or other different people that know the cuts of meat that particular country enjoys. The sausages you get in is it Paraguay or Venezuela? I think it's Paraguay. Some of the sausages that I've seen that you get are phenomenal.
No doubt.
Because they're buying it from and getting it from the place where it originates. The food is good.
Top of the line.
The empanadas, the different stuff, and I remember it being like that with the Cosmos, the New York Cosmos, where they used to go up to Cosmos games. It's good food, man. I don't know how it is in Pasadena. I haven't really looked here in Seattle, but I know my friends in New York are telling me that there's pop-up food stands from all different kinds of countries all over the place.
That makes sense. Plus, that's a good town for eating off the sidewalk.
Yeah, look for the Greek stuff. The Greeks will floor you with what they're cooking up.
And Vinnie, you may remember this, I know you will, said that we had to judge what Greek restaurant we were going to by which had the ugliest waitresses.
Yes. That was the way you found out which Greek restaurant you wanted to go. If it was Ugly Mama, go to that restaurant, man. Head in there and wait there for as long as you gotta wait for a table.
Just have lunch there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just get in there and enjoy it. And I think our experience with that was good.
Yes, we had a great sample plate, lunch plate that had one of everything.
All sorts of stuff that you never heard of before. What is it? Don't ask. Eat it.
No, we don't have a name for that. Just eat that.
That's what Theo, the chef in the back, cooks up with the stuff that he has left over from the sheep brain casserole that he makes on Friday nights.
A no-brainer.
Without a doubt. Oh. Joke of the week, right there on Monday.
should have shaved it for Wednesday.
Yeah, no, we could take off the rest of the week. We could travel. Oh man, but that's part of the thing too. But the sad thing about the World Cup is it's taking on the same face as the rest of sports has now. The love of the heck do they call it? I can't even remember what. There was something. There was a some kind of food that I was looking for. It'll come to me when it comes to me. But the on Randall's Island in New York, which is where the Cosmos used to play before they moved out to New Jersey, they used to have like people used to barbecue in the stands because nobody gave a crap about Randall's Island Stadium. They didn't care if you burned it down, really.
As long
The
as the food
old
was good.
wooden bleachers and this and that, and it wasn't. So the Parks Department, if somebody burned the bleachers, somebody would come with new bleachers, put them up, and you'd
Play
be on your
ball.
way by next Sunday. But that they after a while moved because I guess they were tired of fighting fires during games. Moved the because they don't stop soccer games.
No.
There
What's the
could be a
point?
4-alarm blaze going on in the stadium,
We
and they
play
just
during
tell
riots.
everybody,
Why shouldn't we play during fires?
yeah, stand up and move 5 steps to the right. You stand up 5 steps to the left, leave us enough room to get our hoses up here, and we'll have the thing out in an hour. Just don't get in our way. And so that's how they used to fight fires it's now it's named Icon Stadium. ICAHN Icon, but it
Like
used to
Carl
be
Icahn.
that's because that's who owns the team and the major contributor for the stadium. So when you do that in New York, they got to name something after you. They ran out of bridges.
You don't want to be the parking lot.
They filled up the Bobby Kennedy Bridge with roadkill. So they had to come up with something different. So they gave him the stadium, and they refurbished it. Did a nice job, actually, at some point. And they still play matches over there, even though the World Cup is going to be at you can't call it MetLife Stadium.
How come?
You have to call it New York, New Jersey Stadium. Oh, you know how many
That's the same thing here. You can't call it SoFi. You got to call it Los Angeles Stadium.
Right, and you can't call Lumen Field. You have to call it Seattle Stadium, which is when did soccer and soccer stadiums acquire so much power? Did I miss something?
I can't, the point is that they can't even explain convincingly why you have to call a stadium a different stadium when a different sport is being played in it. Whoever bought Lumen Stadium did not buy the soccer rights or the European football rights, so it's got to have a different name.
Yeah, I don't get the whole thing. I don't get the Trump-like hold that soccer has on the politicians in soccer, and their governing bodies. I mean, they have a hold that is unlike any other sport. I thought the NFL.
Same thing is going on now with the war that's ending or not ending in the Middle East.
What time is it?
Are the reporters for the right stations agreeing with Trump that this is over and it's a magnificent stroke of genius that he ended the war? Or are they judging the fact that there's still no text for the memorandum of understanding? There's no understanding in the memorandum. There's no end of the war. There's no defining of what they meant by the end of the war or what they plan to do at the end of the war or what constitutes timeout. And when does it take effect? They're not even going to announce the thing that they can't tell you what's in it until Friday. They want everybody to be on board.
There's no art of the deal.
Meet me in Switzerland. We're going to sign it. You sure? Well, the Prime Minister of Pakistan says yes. What do you think? I think that he's sorry he ever opened his mouth.
Yeah, I think there's I'm not a guy that agrees with John Bolton often, the former
What does John say?
and John has been on several programs just saying how badly the Trump administration has screwed
Him?
this thing up. And this is a guy that's never found a war that he didn't want to have somebody else's kids die in.
It's his thing.
That's his thing. He loves that. He loves the sound of crunching bone. But he's been on several of the programs, and I've seen him several places saying that
He can't be satisfied by the deal that is not able to be defined. That's supposed to end a war that no one can remember how we started.
he can't. Trump and his people, and mostly Trump,
And his 22 specialist doctors.
right? And his specialist doctors and everybody have done more to screw this program, this settling of this war up, because they do one of the things that you do find out in this war, this 100-day war, is that Trump has done everything he can, and his followers have done everything they can to try to fit this war neatly into a book cover title.
The start and finish of my war.
Yeah. And to get it done by September so that they'll have something for
The midterm.
Republicans to run on for the midterms.
It ain't going to work. And if J.D. Vance is in charge and little Marco's in charge and the shit for brains generals and admirals that are serving Trump's needs, that are putting people in harm's way, that are preventing peace from taking place, that had no idea that the Strait of Hormuz would be a factor. These are the brains that we're dealing with.
I don't think half these people knew where the Strait of Hormuz was.
They still may not know. And they couldn't find Karg Island on a bet.
Find it. They couldn't spell it.
It's not a logical spell. There is an H in there that doesn't seem to belong.
Right. So the whole thing is from oxtail to lamb brains, soup to nuts. The whole freaking thing is a joke. The only thing that's not a joke about it is that it's cost injury and life to people who it shouldn't have.
And cost me $5.59 a gallon for gas.
Yeah, I mean, you got the monetary cost of it too, but you're also dealing with a president who cannot relate to that.
Doesn't care.
That's a very bad thing to have.
Not concerned, not interested.
Not concerned in the least. Bored with it. When have you ever heard a president say, I was bored with a war?
I'm bored with my war. Or it's your war, actually. It's not my war. And Bibi Netanyahu can't find anything to agree with. He agrees with nothing that Trump is doing because he wants to continue to turn Lebanon into rubble. It's an ugly, ugly world.
It's a sad situation. So, as of right now, from what I understand, and again, I may be wrong on this because it seems to change every moment. The war still goes on.
Yeah, just like ever. It's like every day.
It's just another day in the war. Except if you die in the war.
That's different. You feel a little differently about the war after you've died in it.
Yeah. Once you die in it, it becomes, because you can never be the first person to put in a change of address from where you are after you die. Nobody's ever put in a change of address
Too late.
card. You have to
You
do
can't-
that prior.
You can't move the Spolpake right in the middle of your death.
It won't let
First of
you.
all, who's going to pack? Not me.
It's sad. So I hope for the best. I hope for I hope for some kind of situation where they can find out or figure out what the hell is going on.
Well, I
And
think
what
the G7 meeting today in Switzerland, isn't somebody going to ask Trump, "Hey, tell me confidentially, what the hell's going on? What have you got done? What have you agreed to? What's the memo of understanding say? What have you agreed to? Where's the enriched uranium? What about the Strait of Hormuz? What about the toll to get through there? What about your Navy? What the hell are they doing?
Yeah, it's you're
Just tell me confidentially.
they won't do that because they can't do anything confidentially, Michael, because they don't want to do things confidentially. They want to take credit for what they did, no matter how bad it is.
No matter how ridiculous their claims. How many
How
times have they ended
ridiculous
this war?
claim,
How many
they
times has
want to
it
be
been
the
over?
one that made it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Is the war over? Well, I said it was over, but that's because it's not over, and I just wanted to say it was. I'll say it's over tomorrow. Will it be over then? Not so much, but it'll give me a chance to say it's over another time. When is the war going to be over? Well, I'll tell you when.
Yeah, when
Not-
we want it to be.
Not
Which has
now.
been their basic premise, right? The war
Right.
will be over when we want it to be. We told you 100 days ago that the
How it was
war
gonna
was
end.
over. But maybe they didn't get the message.
It's over for us. It's just not over for them.
Well, it's over for them too, except it's not over for us. But wait a minute.
How did that happen?
I don't know if did you see this story about the audacity, the balls of Stephen Miller, who decided that it would be a good idea at some point during last year when he was doing one of his first, I won't call it a campaign, but one of the first things that he really wanted to be public about. Stephen Miller didn't want to be public about a lot of the stuff he was doing, that 2025 thing or the project, whatever it was. He tried to keep it all under the table, be
He's a
behind the
Sneaky
wizard.
bastard. Yeah, right.
Well, there was one thing that he wanted to take the credit for, and that was back in April of 2025, saying to people that, well, I would really like it if we suspended habeas corpus.
Just give it a shot. Follow me on this one.
Now, class, do you have any idea what habeas corpus is? Michael, please.
It means I have a body, which is in terms of rules of evidence.
Right. It has nothing to do with Joni Greggins or Denise Austin. It's that you have a real body that's inanimate. It's not moving.
Not going anywhere.
And if you want to say to somebody, you murdered somebody, you usually have to
Have a body.
have a body. You have to be able to produce somebody who's A, been murdered, B.
Otherwise, you just go around accusing innocent people of murder.
Yeah. You have
The state.
Put something behind it. And the judge will see that, and he will usually say, well, you're right. This dude is dead, man. But Trump administration, Stephen Miller, decided that, you know what, all that stuff they did on the Constitution back in the day, the writing,
It's
the
too
law,
heavy. Let's make it lighter. Make it
it's
easier.
it's a lot of stuff we got to do for what?
90-day habeas corpus is the name of the show.
Yeah. So they just decided that, well, we'll just suspend it.
And where we can bring charges against you without evidence.
Right. You have to justify why you locked the person up is basically the bottom line of the two words, the phraseology. You have to be able to say, for the government to say, I need you to show me substantial evidence that says you want to arrest and hold this person for this crime. Show me. You can't just put him in jail.
Show me everything.
Show me what you got. You don't have to convict him right now. I'll give you time to get your case together. But show me what you got. And
We're not going any further until you do.
Right. And if you can't do that, see that big double door down the end of the hallway there?
Open them up.
That guy walks through it. And for whatever reason, Republicans have found those two doors very, very, very hard to get open.
Just can't do it. Can't do it. It's not that we didn't try. Well, we didn't, but it's not like we didn't try.
And what happened? They said, do it. And they said, nah, we're going to suspend this thing. We're going to try as best we can. We think we have the people on the Supreme Court that will go along with us.
Yep. We paid dearly for this.
People here who can create a diversion. The Epstein papers. We have enough people that will get your mind off of this so that you're paying attention to that while we try to push this one through. And many of the looming legal scholars in the country said to...
let's give it a shot. Let's see how it works.
Well, many did say, let's try it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And according to the New York Times, back in 2025, they pretty damn well came close to it. Without habeas corpus, you got nothing, America. I don't like the brown suit you're wearing. Well,
charge him with murder. Capital case.
You're done.
When you're doing life in prison, you really don't need a brown suit that often.
You want to have one around for the hell of it, to keep it going, to keep the idea going. But the reality is,
you don't even have to wear it to court. That's been taken care of.
Just get yourself a jean jacket with some numbers on it, and we'll let you in the court with that. The second Trump White House was deliberating a new claim of presidential power, that the suspension of habeas rights for unauthorized immigrants.
If it work against them, it might work against you.
Yeah. If they didn't think that you belonged here.
No rights for you. There goes your rights.
There it goes. It has happened in history a couple of times. I think I don't have the when exactly in front of me, but I pretty much believe the last time was the Japanese internment camps, wasn't it?
We did that here in California.
Yeah.
Took their property, we took their rights, we took their jobs, we took their families, we took their persons, and claimed all the values and put them in prison.
Well, it looks like somehow, somewhere, after the 2024 election victory for Trump,
now's our time. Now's our chance.
Yeah, they said back up a little bit. Still not maybe the smartest thing to do.
But It's nice to know that Stephen Miller is always thinking of something new.
Well, him and a bunch of his friends. This is a guy who said that John McCain was not conservative enough for the 2008 Republican presidential nomination. So maybe that'll give you an idea. He was a guy. He was one of the people in this cabal of people. Was and is the guy who stood in front of his house outside of St. Louis.
Yeah, I remember with
With his wife and a couple of guns.
A couple of automatic weapons.
Saying that, well, you come on my you come on my property, you peaceful protesters, walking by my house,
We'll
and I got a right to shoot you.
Stand my ground.
I'm standing my ground. I'm doing what the law of this state tells me I can do.
And where do you stand, Stephen Miller? Well, on your neck, if I can.
Yeah, I'm. Very true. Anyway,
Vinnie, I don't think I'm going to be joining you this Wednesday. I have a doctor's appointment that I can't move, so I apologize in advance to you and our fans.
Mikey, no, come on. You know what? I got an idea. I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday also. Why don't I see if I can get mine moved to the same time as yours, and we could have it all done right here in front of everybody.
Okay. Mine's never very interesting. I just get more medicine.
Yeah, I have interesting ones, but it seems like they're interesting to the guy at the pharmacy and the doctor and the pharmaceutical company.
But not you.
But not me. And oddly enough, not to the nurse who assists the doctor.
She should be interested.
Of which I'm really not sure that she's a nurse. Very nice lady.
No habeas corpus.
I always seem to like to talk to her, but she's always got a lot of things.
Maybe she's not listening.
Well, you notice they say there's a way that you can go ahead and tape those calls to make them more interesting or more successful, or is it training film? I don't know. Hey, we had Mikey and Vinnie in here on Monday, and why don't you listen to their joint session of examination?
You're going to love it. You might learn something,
and see if it interests you. I got a good doctor, Dr. Vinnie Boombots.
He's a great physician.
He's a great man.
Where did he go to school? I can't remember. Fairly Ridiculous. Fairly Dickinson.
Fairly Ridiculous. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the school. Yeah, Fairly Ridiculous. By the way, Gavin Newsom this morning says that President Trump and his Justice Department has investigated he and his wife.
Of course. I'm surprised they're not in custody.
Unbelievable. Don't get on the wrong side of Trump. Because, he doesn't even have the brains to investigate you himself. He can't. He's not a lawyer. Trump couldn't invest. If he decided, I want to take revenge on Michael Knight by investigating him, he wouldn't know how to fucking do it.
He has people. He has people who know people.
I'm just saying. Yeah, well, I'm sad that we won't have a show on Wednesday, and I think if you get a chance, you ought to go on the New York Times webpage and read the confidential habeas corpus memo from Attorney Will Scharf, who collaborated here with Susie Wiles, another card.
They gave it some thought and they suspended the Constitution.
And they said, yes, dude, what are these but words?
It's the greatest argument ever. Why should we pay attention to these words? They're just words.
Yeah. There's
They could be
The
true,
wor-
they could be lies. What's the difference? Like, what's the point?
yeah, you'll find out soon enough. And the point is that the point is that we will take you out if we want to take you out. We will suspend your rights if we don't want you to fly somewhere. If we don't want you to go somewhere, we don't want you to drive somewhere. We don't want you to be somewhere.
We didn't give it a lot of thought, but it sounds right.
It sounded like stuff from the cop shows.
In fact, it sounds like things get easier because there's not so much paper.
Well, that's it. You got all these amendments, all these constitutions, all these Bill of Rights and stuff like that.
What are they? What
Make a
word?
simple one for you.
Yeah.
We don't want you to do it. Don't do it.
Shut up. Sit down.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like my father's house. There's no constitution in my father's
Your dad's
house.
had a long day. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, no Bill of Rights. You don't have rights here. You get a place to sleep and you get 3 meals a day.
Up to 3 meals.
And you get fresh Italian bread 3 or 4 times a week. What else do you need?
Sounds better.
Yeah, I mean, we don't mean to be harsh here, but what else do you need besides that? Nothing. So shut up, take the bread, grab yourself a piece of provolone out the door, and don't get it near the cat, and you'll be all right.
And as they say, enjoy.
Enjoy, because the cat likes cheese just as much as you do.
That's right. And he'll eat it if you don't.
The cat
Or
is
it could be a cat. He loves the cheese, but he won't eat it. There's no explanation for why.
Don't have to eat it. I don't want to eat it. I just want to enjoy watching you eat it.
I want to see the look on your face when I won't eat it.
Michael, I don't know what we did here this morning, but
It's over.
it's bad. I think it's about over.
Take care of yourself, Vinnie. I'll see you on Friday.
Mikey, see you Friday. Have a good time at the doctor. Tell him I said hello.
He
Don't be
always
any
asks,
extra pills that he doesn't need. Send them my way.
oh, he's got them. They don't do damn much, but he's got them. And he always asks for you. How's Vinnie?
All right. Tell him for $29.95. We can tell him. All right, man. I'll see you on Friday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
If everyone in our audience, go home and check your hay, see if it's got a corpus, okay?
Yes, and in the words of the great Alexander Haig, I'm in charge here. See you, Mikey. Thank you all for listening, too. We'll see you on Friday.
See you, Ben.
See you, Mike.